Alright, it appears that I am in fact live streaming. I am live, I'm doing it live. Okay. Now as the title would suggest, I'll be talking about Onlyfans and sex work and sexy things. Actually, I won't be talking about that many sexy things, but I will be talking about OnlyFans and sex work. And I feel like I kind of have to give something of an obligatory disclosure. Like, look, I just want people to know before I get into this, I'm not like anti-sex work, okay? I don't have a problem with people that do OnlyFans, that have an OnlyFans, that make money doing this. Okay, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. I'm not against it, and I'm not advocating against it. I just would like to make that perfectly crispy, 100% clear. Okay? I am not against these things in the slightest whatsoever. Alright? But I do think that there's some interesting observations to make about OnlyFans. You know, the new hot thing that, you know, everyone, mostly women, are doing to earn some monies, earn some dollar bills, you know, pay their rent, to buy food. It's very popular, and there's a lot of support for this sort of thing. And I find that interesting. I find it very interesting. I would say I find it odd, but it's really not that odd. You know, it makes a lot of sense. We've all seen the, you know, the viral posts on Twitter of someone, you know, buying a house basically because they had OnlyFans, had an OnlyFans, and made money that way. It's clearly something someone can do to make lots of money. Or at least some people. A handful of people. So there's a lot of support for this thing. Both financial support from, you know, men. But also lots of, I guess, moral support as well. Lots of people who think this is a great thing to do. And I suppose it's a thing. As I said, I'm not anti-sex work, anti-OnlyFans, but I'm not pro either. I'm not in favor of it either. I have a more cynical and jaded view of it than I think most people do. Something that a point of view that I see get across a lot, that seems very popular, is that this is empowering for women. You know, this is liberating for women. They're taking back, you know, their sexuality and owning it and using it to make money, in a sense. And this is seen as liberation. This is seen as liberating and empowering for women. And quite frankly, I find that a bit odd and contradictory for lots of reasons. You know, is working at McDonald's a empowering thing to do? You know, as being a fast food worker, as being a minimum wage worker, you know, empowering? No, of course not. You know, but for some reason, you know, girls that make, you know, $10 a month selling, you know, pictures of topless photos of themselves, you know, all of a sudden that's seen as empowering, as liberating. And quite frankly, that just doesn't make any sense to me, because we wouldn't say that about any other type of, you know, profession that earns a very meager wage. You know, we wouldn't say that about, as I said, a fast food worker or someone working at a grocery store, you know. And so that part just doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's kind of ignoring the not so pretty realities of what this kind of thing is for most people, for most women who do it. And women aren't the only people who have OnlyFans, by the way. I think that should definitely be stated. It's not just a women thing. And it is mostly women who seem to have that. Lost my train of thought. like most of the people who do it aren't gonna, become are gonna make $10,000 their first month doing it. I think the reality for most people that have an OnlyFans is a little more bleak. It's a little more like this. Hope this is showing my pictures. But if any of you remember the story of the New York City paramedic that news story that went viral of the paramedic that makes money that has an OnlyFans for side cash, and I'm gonna try to put a link to that story in the bio or description of this stream in case it's not already there. I tried putting it there, but it might not be. But yeah, I think this right here is a better depiction of what OnlyFans is for most people, for most women. I don't view it as something which is empowering, but rather a form of struggling, struggling to pay your rent, struggling to pay your bills, struggling to earn enough money to merely survive. This is not exactly the image of empowerment. And I actually liked this article. I know a lot of people, when this article was floating around Twitter, 6 months ago, or so, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people criticized it. A lot of people thought that it portrayed this girl in a negative light. And I don't think it does. I mean, clearly, this kind of news article is just trying to get, it's clickbait fodder, basically. I think that's kind of obvious. But honestly, when you actually read the substance of this article, I've got a screenshot of part of it that I thought was probably the most important bit. It really just portrays what this is for this one girl. And I do think this is a better depiction of what it is for most people who have an OnlyFans. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not, $10K or $100,000, even $1 million in your first day. It's just, maybe an extra $100 or maybe a couple $100 per month makes it easier to pay your bills. Buy some food, take care of yourself. But not exactly, a form of empowerment, as some people might want you to think. And to some extent, I find that to be absurd, that people want to say this is empowering. No, I don't think it is empowering. I think that this is exploitative, just like any other form of work. I guess depending on your moral proclivities, you might view it as more exploitative or less exploitative. I know some people might actually take issue with me comparing it to other forms of work, fast food or whatever, but I don't view it as any more exploitative than that, or any less. So yeah, that's more of the world we live in. Freedom is slavery, slavery is freedom. That kind of bullshit. And for shits and giggles, I decided I'll throw this little comparison in here. This might be familiar to some people, depending on how historically literate you are, but For those of you that might not be aware of what this sign is and what it says, Arbeit macht frei. I think that's close enough pronunciation. If there's any Germans who want to poke fun at it, feel free to. But this sign, message was, obviously, not obviously, but held outside concentration camps in Nazi Germany. And roughly what this translates to is work makes you free, or work sets you free. But that's the rough translation to it. And to me, if you're going to say that something like sex work or OnlyFans is empowering or liberating to women, then you might as well just say sex work makes you free. You might as well embrace this slogan is what I'm trying to get at, folks. Okay? Work makes you free. Or in this case, sex work. Sex work makes you free. So, an interesting parallel that I've kind of come up with. And I suspect that this might piss some people off. Or maybe not. Now, I want to make it clear, I'm not judging the people who have an OnlyFans, who partake in this. Okay? I get it. I get why they do it. Alright? It sucks. It's hard to make ends meet. So I'm not judging those people. What I am saying is I think we live in a fundamentally sick and fucked up world where people or anyone has to do that sort of thing. It feels as though they have to do that sort of thing in the first place in order to support themselves. I don't think we should be living in a world where anybody, regardless of who you are, what profession you are, should have to participate in sex work in order to survive. I think that's just ridiculous. It's an absolutely insane world we live in. And yet there's like tons of people, thousands, who are convinced that this kind of stuff is a form of liberation, is a form of freedom, is a form of like power embracing, or whatever the fuck they want to say, whatever nonsense. I just view it as sick. Again, not the sex work itself, not the people themselves. A lot of conservatives will typically moralize about sex work and judge those who do it as immoral, as like bad people in a sense. But I don't think that's true, and I don't think that makes any sense. I don't think people participate in sex work because they lack morality, because they're bad people. I think they participate in sex work for practical reasons. I think they participate in it because they want to make money doing it. Because we all need to make money, by the way. All of us. It's true for every single last one of us. None of us is immune to that. Unless you have a very loving partner that wants to take care of you. But I guess some people have that arrangement, but not most. So yeah, this probably is not a very uplifting, upbeat, happy, funny, go lucky stream. And yeah, if you've tolerated my rambling this far, well, I appreciate it. I do. I enjoy it. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I appreciate you watching, and if you'd like to give this stream a like, just give it a like and drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you here for it? Do you hate me? Do you think I'm a fucking idiot? I don't really care what your opinion is, but I'd like to know. Just comment down below. I don't care if you love it or hate it. I just need to know. Alright? So, I appreciate anyone who's taking the time to watch this. Yeah. It's been great. I enjoy doing this. I think I'm going to continue doing it. Yeah. 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 Alright. Adios.